What's up, guys? I was surprised to receive such a big box. To be honest, I didn't really know what was inside until I opened it, because there is nothing written on the box except for the mfish logo. However, we already tested the magnetic power bank, fast charger, charging cable and charging station from this company, so I guessed that there was some kind of charging device here too. And yes, indeed, inside the box was a laptop power bank called mfish Super Mushroom. This is a 40,000 mAh modular power bank with 100 watts fast charging support. The power bank actually has a capacity of 20,000 mAh, but it also supports a secondary battery module with the same capacity of 20,000 mAh. This is probably the most unusual power bank I have ever had. I also have a new 5000 mAh wireless magnetic power bank and a 140 watts charging cable with a real-time display from the mfish company. We will test all these charging devices in this video. We have already started unboxing, but let's see what else is included in the package of the laptop power bank, as well as the magnetic power bank and a charging cable. So the mfish Super Mushroom laptop power bank comes in this quite big box. There are only some symbols, probably in Chinese, and the mfish logo. Opening the box, we can see all the contents, and there are descriptions, such as power bank, battery pack, flashlight, wireless charger, charging cable, and even a carrying pouch. You know, this option is actually called a gift box, but you can also order just a power bank. However, I think this power bank is especially interesting in the gift box option, so I recommend choosing it. As for the wireless power bank, it has a similar packaging design to the magnetic power bank we tested earlier. It only has power bank and user manual in the box. The charging cable is already built in, so you don't need a separate one. And the last device for today is the charging cable. On the box we see its main feature, which is a real-time display as well as 140 watts power. The cable comes in a protective carrying case, and it even has a user manual. That's all the unboxing. All these products have cool packaging, and they are perfect for gifts. Now let's take a closer look at each device, starting with the laptop power bank. So if we are talking about the mfish Super Mushroom power bank, this is it. The battery expansion module has the same design, but it doesn't have a display or any USB ports. It seems that the power bank and the extra battery module use the same batteries. We can even see them inside. I think these are 18,650 type batteries with a capacity of 5,000 mAh each. I am surprised that even the batteries inside have a unique design with the mfish logo. This company pays a lot of attention to the design of their products, which is why they have a slogan "Charging shouldn't be boring." The battery expansion module has only charging pins on the top, and it connects to the bottom of the power bank. You know, the magnetic connection is so strong that you need two hands to separate them. That's very good. The mfish Super Mushroom power bank also comes with two other modules, namely flashlight and wireless charger. They are connected in the same way as an extra battery. The flashlight has a touch control button. Its maximum power is 3 watts, and the maximum brightness is 300 lumens. You can use it in low beam, high beam, and strobe modes. However, since the flashlight doesn't have any battery, you cannot use it without a power bank. As for the wireless charger module, it has a wireless charging pad on the top, as well as two USB-C ports on the sides. This means that you can charge 3 devices at the same time from this module. The maximum wireless charging power is 15 watts, and both USB-C ports deliver maximum 36 watts output power. You know, all 3 modules, namely the extra battery, flashlight, and wireless charger, are really useful, and they make this power bank multifunctional. By the way, the power bank itself has two USB-C ports, one of which is output and the other input, meaning the first is for charging other devices and the second is for charging the power bank itself. There are also a touch control button and LED display on the power bank. The display is not very big, but it shows some very useful information. On the first screen, we can see the battery level of the power bank, temperature and output power for USB-C 1 and USB-C 2 ports. There is also a plus icon on the screen, which says about the module connection. For example, when you connect an external battery module, you see its battery level on the screen of the power bank. But when you connect the flashlight or a wireless charger, the plus icon is just highlighted. There are two more screens on the display of the power bank that shows the total output power, volts and amps for the USB-C 1 and USB-C 2 ports. So the mfish Super Mushroom power bank is really interesting, but the modules make it multifunctional. You should definitely buy the whole set, not just one power bank. By the way, the weight of the power bank is 425 grams. The extra battery module weighs almost the same, 390 grams. The dimensions of the power bank are 112 by 58 by 58 mm. The next new product from the mfish company is a magnetic wireless power bank. We have already tested mfish wireless power bank, but it has a battery capacity of 10,000 mAh. As for the new power bank, it has a capacity of 5,000 mAh, which makes it ultra slim. Its dimensions are only 112 by 68 by 7 mm. The weight is 129 grams. So given the color and size of this power bank, it is probably more suitable for girls. In addition, the back of the power bank has a mirror, so you can quickly get yourself ready. By the way, Valentine's Day is coming soon, so this can be a great gift for a girl. Guys, take note! As for the charging, you can use power bank for wireless charging by just attaching to it to the back of your smartphone or for wired charging using the built-in USB-C cable. However, you can only use it for output charging. If you want to charge the power bank, there is a USB-C port on the side. Finally, the last new product from the mfish is a charging cable. We have already tested the mfish charging cable, but the new one is different. First, it has a USB-A and detachable USB-C connector on one side and two USB-C connectors on the other side. There are real-time displays on each of USB-C cables. We will test them a little later. The cable has a length of 1.2 meters and it is made of liquid silicon material. The company claims that it withstands 30,000 bends, staying flexible and tangle-free. You know, I have been using the previous cable for more than 3 months and it is like new. I think the new cable will also last a long time. By the way, you can use this cable not just for charging, but also for data transfer with a maximum speed of 480 megabits per second. Okay, now let's test the charging speed of the laptop power bank, wireless power bank, and cable. Let's start with the laptop power bank. You know, the mfish Super Mushroom power bank comes with a charging cable included, but it is an older version. I will use a new charging cable with real-time displays. So we can test the power bank and the new charging cable at the same time. First, let's just connect my smartphone to the power bank. Charging has started. We see about 17 watts on the power bank screen and on the charging cable real-time display. This is the maximum charging speed for my smartphone. However, the maximum output power of the USB-C 1 port on the power bank is 100 watts. The new charging cable has a second USB-C cable, so let's connect it to my laptop. The laptop began to charge, and the power bank delivers 44 watts to it, while the smartphone is charging at only 6 watts. The mfish Super Mushroom laptop power bank also has a USB-C 2 port with a maximum output power of 60 watts. We can connect a laptop to this port and see that it charges at 52 watts. However, when using USB-C 1 and USB-C 2 ports at the same time, they only provide 20 watts of maximum power. This is enough to charge a smartphone, but not a laptop, so it is not charging. So the conclusion is that the laptop power bank has a USB-C 1 port with a maximum output power of 100 watts, which is enough to charge a smartphone and a laptop at the same time. You can also use the USB-C 2 port with a maximum output power of 60 watts for charging a laptop. However, when using both ports simultaneously, you cannot charge your laptop because the total output power is only 20 watts. By the way, it says on the power bank that USB-C 1 port is for output and USB-C 2 port is for input. But in fact, you can use both for output power. As for charging the power bank itself, I tested it with a 65 watts power adapter, and the power bank charged at 65 watts. It may even have a higher charging speed, but I don't have a power adapter more powerful than 65 watts right now. As for the new charging cable, it shows the same charging speed on its displays as the power bank screen. It is also very convenient to charge two devices from a single USB-C port using only one cable. The mfish Super Mushroom laptop power bank also comes with a wireless charging module. As you can guess, its main function is wireless charging, and it really works. However, it also has two USB-C ports with a maximum output power of 36 watts each. So when charging two smartphones via USB-C ports, they will receive 36 watts each. But when you also place the smartphone on the wireless charging pad, it will charge at 15 watts, while the smartphone connected to the USB-C port will charge at 36 watts, and the phone connected to the USB-C 2 port will charge at 15 watts. So the maximum output power from two USB-C ports and wireless charging pad is 66 watts. This is still very decent. Finally, we have a magnetic wireless power bank. It uses a Qi 2 standard with a maximum wireless charging speed of 15 watts. I cannot check the wireless charging speed, but the fact is that my phone is charging. The power bank also has a built-in USB-C cable that provides 20 watts of output power. I think this is a good option for the iPhone 15, 16 or 17 with USB-C charging ports, but I have an old iPhone with a Lightning port. But I can show it to you with an Android phone. It works very well. As for charging the wireless power bank, it has a USB-C port on the side and supports a maximum input power of 19 watts. That's very good. You know, this magnetic wireless power bank is designed for girls because it is slim, small, convenient, and even has a mirror. You should consider this gift for Valentine's Day. As for the laptop power bank, it is probably the most functional power bank I have ever had. It has an impressive modular design that allows you to add an additional 20,000 mAh battery to the existing battery of the same capacity. There are also modules for a flashlight and a wireless pad. The power bank has a convenient screen and two USB-C ports with high output power of 100 watts. Finally, the new charging cable is very useful because you can charge two devices from one port and monitor the charging speed on the displays in real time. The mfish company keeps proving that charging shouldn't be boring. Thank you for watching this video. See you soon!